The Day of the Jackal is a modern reimagining of the book sporting the same name. Packed full of action and espionage thrills through its 10 episodes, Sky's latest thriller is quite the bingeable watch. If you finish watching this one and are looking for alternate picks, we've combed through the archives and saved you the hassle with our top 10 picks that aren't spin-offs or set in the same universe. As always, let us know your favourites in the comments and which of these you've watched. So without further ado, let's start the countdown. 24 centres on Jack Bauer, a counter-terrorism agent working for the CTU, which is the counter-terrorist unit. Each season covers 24 hours of real time, with Jack facing various terrorist threats and conspiracies across the 24 episodes. The show's real-time format and high stakes make it tense and action-packed, although some of the stories shine brighter than others. And for anyone that's watched this show, they'll tell you that season 5 is an absolute banger. The Day of the Jackal shares more than a few similarities to 24, given they both follow counter-terrorism agents working against the clock to prevent catastrophic attacks. Both shows feature intense action and high-stakes situations, making this an easy recommendation. The Terminal list has all the ingredients to be a surefire hit: high-octane action, twists and turns, along with enough treachery and intrigue to keep you guessing. Our protagonist here is a former Navy SEAL officer called James Reese, played by Chris Pratt. The story opens with a tense covert mission deep in enemy territory that goes completely awry, leading to his team being slaughtered. With the plan a bust, the soldiers head back to US soil and are debriefed. When his friends begin to die in mysterious ways, Reese quickly learns that there's a conspiracy going all the way up the chain of command. Naturally, Reese begins to investigate further, setting up a kill list as he begins going after those responsible. Israeli Netflix original series When Heroes Fly may play with a simple storyline, but its deeply profound message around PTSD makes it a surprisingly moving drama. Jumping between different time periods and locations around the world, the show does well to mix things up throughout its 10 episodes. Despite a slow start, When Heroes Fly soon opens up and becomes much more action orientated. This is where the show is at its strongest, delivering a really well written second half to this one that makes it an easy recommendation for anyone that's finished watching Day of the Jackal. The bridge begins with a chilling crime scene, a body placed precisely on the Öresund Bridge, the border between Denmark and Sweden. This unusual murder brings together Swedish detective Saga Norén and Danish detective Martin Rode, whose contrasting personalities make for a fascinating partnership. Their investigation unfolds into a dark, complex mystery that challenges their ethics and reveals unexpected layers to both characters. Each season explores themes like political activism and social justice, with suspenseful storytelling and moody visuals that pull viewers into its morally ambiguous world. The interesting thing with Counterpart is just how normalised its sci-fi elements are. Here we're dealing with parallel worlds, and in particular one that's accessible via a pathway guarded by government authorities. At the centre of this lies Howard Silk, who inadvertently winds up entangled in a big cover-up and face to face with his doppelganger from a parallel reality. Trouble is brewing though, leading Howard and his double to trade places and grapple with a plotline involving powerful forces intent on disrupting the natural flow of both worlds. This is a smartly written thriller, and although only running for 2 seasons, does well to add a paranoia-inducing and mysterious flavour to its parallel worlds idea. Created off the back of the successful Bourne movies, Treadstone is a series set in the exact same universe, centering around the Black Ops program Treadstone, which is responsible for creating highly skilled assassins, including Jason Bourne. The show follows multiple sleeper agents around the world as they are awakened to carry out their missions. There's also additional lore thrown in here too, delving into the origins and inner workings of the Treadstone program. Much like Day of the Jackal, this show highlights the global scope and high stakes of intelligence work, as well as the personal sacrifices faced by those involved. Vagabond is an action-orientated Korean drama which is exciting, suspenseful, and manages to carry quite the punch across its runtime. The story does end with a pretty unsatisfying finish though, and multiple plot threads left dangling, but the ride there is worth experiencing if you're a fan of Day of the Jackal. The story revolves around stuntman Chad Dao-Kyon. With a close relationship with his nephew keeping him going through tough moments in his career, Chad's world is turned upside down when the plane his nephew is on crashes to the ground. With suspicion information surrounding a mysterious man on the fly and coded messages with a co-pilot, the plot soon thickens and it becomes apparent that this crash was no accident. It's not perfect, but it still makes for a compelling watch, certainly worth checking out if you fancy something a little bit different. Following the success of Fauda, writer Moshe Zonda returns to the small screen for another Israeli espionage thriller, this time in the form of Tehran. Well written, tightly paced, and featuring some nice twists along the way, Tehran is certainly an enjoyable series, with a good slew of episodes sandwiched by an excellent opener and an equally thrilling finale. The story revolves around a high-stakes dangerous mission conducted by a Mossad agent called Tamar. After switching outfits at the airport, she sets to work infiltrating Tehran while trying to evade detection. With hacker friend Sick Boy guiding her along the way, Tamar soon finds herself in over her head, with danger lurking at every turn. To complicate matters further, a rogue officer known as Faraz realizes something big is going down and conducts his own search, engaging in a cat and mouse game with Tamar until a twist midway through throws him off his game. If you're looking for an equally thrilling series with lots of twists and turns, this one is an easy recommendation. Fauda is an Israeli television series that follows Doron Cavillo, a retired undercover operative who returns to the field to hunt down a notorious Hamas terrorist. The show explores the complexities and moral ambiguity of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict from both sides, while peppering in plenty of action along the way to make for a highly enjoyable watch. Both series centre on special operatives engaged in covert missions, showing the complex political and personal dynamics involved in such operations. Based on true events, Manhunt Unabomber blurs the line between fact and fiction in its dramatised reconstruction of the Unabomber case in 1995. The story follows an FBI case into a notorious killer dubbed the Unabomber, who mails packages containing bombs to people across America which blow up the unsuspecting victims. Tasked with tracking down the killer through increasingly ingenious methods, Jim Fitz leads an investigation to hunt down the killer before more lives are lost. It's a bit of a slow burn, but the show definitely hits the right level of tension, making for an engaging watch. So there we have it, our 10 TV show alternatives to watch when you finish watching The Day of the Jackal. So what did you think of our picks? Do you agree? Are there any notable omissions? Or do you think we're way off the mark? Either way, let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Smash a like or subscribe to the channel, your support is very much appreciated. I'm Greg Wheeler, and from all of us over here at The Review Geek, we'll see you on the next video.